Hey, my name is Rex45. It's the B4evaKool podcast. We got an interesting show tonight. We're going to be interviewing this guy named Mike from Track Social. I can't wait to talk to him. But before we do that, we got to do all that PSA stuff. I want to thank everyone for liking, subscribing. Definitely check out B4evaKool.com and, become B4evaKool. Check out our membership program. We got discounts, we got affiliate codes and all that fun stuff. We got woodcraft technology. If you're looking for clip-ons, rear sets, exhausts, race plastics, use the Rexy code. If you spend over $100, you get a free t-shirt, woodcraft t-shirt. A couple of folks have already done that. They like their shirt, so definitely do that. If you are a fan of Pirelli tires, check out Mark 10 Motorsport. Mention B4evaKool. You get 10% off Pirelli race slicks. You gotta save money, especially you got a big bike. You save some money. If you buy pretty much 9 tires, you get 1 free. It's how 10% work, I think, something to that effect. So, which is pretty good, man, especially if you're on a big bike and you claim you're fast, you're going to be burning through tires. So if you're only using 1 tire for a weekend, well, somebody's going to question what you're doing. That's it for the PSA. Let's check in with Louis. Louis, man, welcome to the show. What's good? How you doing tonight, man?
Hey, what's going on, man? Long, interesting weekend. Lots of things going on. Super busy. This weekend, super busy again. Next weekend, super busy again. Weekend after that, super busy again. But super psyched to be on the show today. And I think we're doing it twice this week. We're doing this special event, and then we're having our regular recap, which I can't wait for the recap because so much happened this weekend in racing. It was such a interesting weekend.
Oh yeah. I might have some clips to play of, things that happened that was said in the past that we might be questioned after this past weekend. It's hard not to talk about it too, but we're gonna do our very best. So I guess with that, with no further ado, let's bring in Mike. Mike, welcome to the show from Track Social. How you doing, man, tonight?
Hey guys, thank you for having me. Big honor, big pleasure. Big fans of what you guys are doing and been following for a while. Never thought I'd be here doing what I'm doing, but excited to be here talking to you.
Hey, listen, it's I feel the same way. I pinch myself at times. This show was a 5-minute segment on another show I did in Boston. So it's like you come up with an idea, man, you get in trouble. That's all I can say.
From your mouth to God's ears, man. That's exactly where we've landed ourselves with all this.
All right, well, let's talk about it, man. What is Track Social? I like the name. Feels like it's a gathering of all the folks that like track life. But let's hear about it, man. How did it come about, and what is it all about?
I got to be honest. It was never supposed to be what it is now. So me and all the guys I've met, we've been in each other's weddings. We talk all the time. We have our group chats. I've known Louis since Bergen Honda days, man. And it's funny where life leads you, especially when it comes to motorsports, right? It brings a commonality. It brings a community together. Some of my closest friends, we met at the track, riding on the track. You come into, off some good laps and you say, oh man, that was some good riding, right? Yeah. Where you pitted? All right, let's go out next session. And all of a sudden you exchange numbers, you're doing track days together. And a big portion of my group of friends that I'm with now, that's how we met. Right. So just to preface, we started this back, this whole riding career back 2015, 2016. Louis was probably one of the first people to open my eyes to it. And we all got married. We all had kids, and then we all progressed in our professional lives, and 10 to 15 track days a year turned into 8 or 9 turned to 5 or 6. And we just started losing the time. And once we added the kids, God, man, they're a blessing. They're a challenge every day that you never know what to expect. But the biggest challenge is trying to keep that passion for that hobby going.
Right. Yeah.
So the group chat one day, I brought up this thing. I go camping with my best friends every year. We do this camping trip once a year, no matter what. So I texted this group chat. I'm like, guys, why don't we rent a racetrack? We'll do it once a year, every year. Try and keep it like a camping trip. Everybody liked it, loved it, enjoyed it. So I reached out to NJMP. We booked a day. I made a Facebook post talking about what we were going to do. We're not, we don't want to cater to certain things that we weren't really into. just a day for the boys. And we didn't realize we had so many followers, so many friends, so many people wanted to be involved. And we actually had to structure it a certain way, and we had to change some of the ways that we were operating. We sold out like 3 months in advance just to cover cost, and it was more of a proof of concept, and it worked. And this year we picked up 2 days and sold out again. And man, we've been traveling the country, Washington State to the Ridge, to MotoGP in Texas. This 1 year endeavor so far, going on year 2, has kind of turned us into an actual full blown company. So it's something that we never expected it to be.
Right. So, so this started last year, and what was outside of, I've tried that with friends. As I hear you talk about it, it's just kind of like, you might be talking about my life a little bit. I was racing a lot, now I'm racing a little bit less, and I only did 2 races. And I have friends that I'm trying to, convince, let's go do some enduro races, so at least we can connect, once a year or twice a year and stuff like that. Were you shocked that there were so many people that were looking for this kind of opportunity where they can get to the track in a way that's not the traditional way? Because it sounds like, there's rules in place that, you got to have certain skill set and certain things. Were you shocked by that, amount of interest?
I would say yes in the beginning, solely because again, it was supposed to be a small day, small cap, open track event. Again, just something for like dads, right? Put the dads together on track. Let us go enjoy some time. We all have work the next day, nothing crazy. And the way that it grew organically and naturally, one post at a time, one message at a time, one phone call, one text message. Hey, can so-and-so come? And then when we structured it the way we did, we promised to always do or create an event, not a track day, right? So a misconception is that Track Social is only a track day organization. We're actually a full-blown motorsports event planning company. So we can do anything from cars and coffees, corporate events, go-kart series, like any type of racing. There's some future things in the works. We want to set up MotoGP trips every year. Again, much more than just a track day organization. So we have cultured our events to be full-blown events. And we made the days that we always wished that we wanted, and we're doing the type of business that we always wish, that the companies operated with us.
Right. So, okay, that's what's up. So like, what are some of the criterias, right? I mean, let's hear it. Like, I'm ready to go do some track days. I don't want to go with the regular Joes because I feel special. I come across you guys online. What's the selling point? What do I get?
So it's hard because we're not actually trying to sell anything, right? We're not actually trying to push anything. We're, the right people find us and kind of become a part of it. But the criteria is we don't encroach on the novice group. And when I say that we don't encroach on it, the market is pretty saturated with companies that have training programs and good training programs, right? Get people off the street, teach them the classroom stuff, the etiquette, how a track day runs, get them involved. And as quote unquote advanced day riders, the last thing we want to do is encroach on that market, bringing people in. And then from a business standpoint, it creates a little less risk and liability on for us. And we just don't, we don't want the traditional day. We don't want the day where it's 4 15-minute sessions or 3 20-minute sessions. We want to maximize what we offer, which is a time on track, the culture, being able to go out with your friends, not being on the clock, because that's what we all know and understand is, if you have 15 minutes or 20 minutes, everyone, we got 5 minutes. It's time to suit up, run out there, get up. And everyone's racing out to get out into the pit wall because you're on a time limit. And that's what we don't want, right? We like our open session. That 40-minute session last year was a huge hit. We had tons of open track. Tons of keeping people who already know the flags. They already know the layout of the track. So you asked some of the things about the criteria. The criteria for us is you have to be intermediate or better with an accredited group or somebody who we know and trust. If you haven't been with one of these organizations in a while, you can show us videos. You can one of our coaches can recommend you, right? So we like to say it's invitation only, but it's kind of more of a voucher process.
Mm-hmm.
So like if you wanted to come and Louis told me like, hey, Rex is good. He's been there a lot. He's this, that, and the third. We would take you in, right? We have an application process on the website. Where if you go to the track-social.com, right on the front page is an application, and the application has your name, your contact information, who if you know somebody, who you've ridden with, what your skill level is, because what we're trying to do is minimize the amount of people. I don't want to say random people, but we don't want ill-willed people or certain riders to come into this organization to kind of discredit it. So what we do is we make sure that if you say you're intermediate or advanced, that right below it, you can list who you've ridden with and that is in fact your skill level.
So there's a vetting process that you've kind of set in place to be able to make sure that the people that come have a certain skill level, or at least even maybe have already an existing relationship with somebody.
Yeah, we do the best of our ability. So some of the criteria and some of these are give and take is it can't be your first time at NJMP, right? Now we do know other riders who are expert level racers, expert level at other tracks. They heard about us, they want to come out. We will take them in, guys who have, the track etiquette, the knowledge, the experience. And we'll take them in and we'll make sure that they ride with the coach or somebody of that same similar pace in order to get them acclimated to the track. So some of the criteria I don't want to say is mandatory, but we definitely don't do novice. You definitely have to know somebody. This year alone, when I was at NJMP, we had a rider come up to the tent, introduce himself. We talked a lot. We had a really good conversation, and that was enough for him to actually get an invitation because he said he wanted to come. He just didn't know anybody, but he just met us. Right. You just met the founders. So we like to say invitation only because we will reach out to people who are recommended to us. If you reach out to us, we will try to vet you that you know somebody, and then we will definitely vet that you belong in that group. And this year we've really refined a lot of the procedures we have in place to kind of keep it as safe and to hold us as accountable as possible.
Right. And so now, is this more like a membership, more like, if you're recommended or somehow we find out about it and we meet all the criteria, we get in, where you say it's more like an event. So is it, are you planning like cars and coffee or bikes and coffee, these kind of things?
Yep. So we do at least one cars and coffee every year right now. It's funny because it's, in the second year we've done it, we have the biggest setup. We have the biggest turnout. We have guys trailering their track bikes to the cars and coffee to put them on display. Just the other day, we were invited to a grassroots event out in Hoboken, New Jersey. It was a great event. Tons of high-end cars, clientele, a lot of really good people. And we have the interest for the car community, the car world, to host some car events of that magnitude. So when I say events, an event normally has more than just that small participation, right? So with us, we are stacked with race shops, suspension tuners, manufacturers, dealers, and then other things in the world that small entrepreneurs and other small businesses might need. We have marketing guys coming. We have tons of media guys coming, tons of photography. So the marketing is there. It's when I say it's truly an event, people can sign up with us and make it a business event because we host we have a meet and greet for other business owners to sit down, talk, see how they operate, maybe, network a little bit, so we're trying to make the events as eventful as possible and not just a day you go ride the track, come back, sit down on your butt and go home at the end of the day. We want you to go home thinking like, I got to get there next year.
Right. Okay. That's what's up, man. I like that. Now I guess, how do people connect with you? Is it social media? Is it a website? Is it like do referrals from other people? How does that happen?
Got to be honest, it's all of it. So the best part about us and the way we're operating is everybody who's coming to this event, I know the name, I know the information. We're doing all the vetting, and we keep it small, right? So we're not trying to sell 120 rider spots. We cap the day at 90 riders total. 90 riders total, not including coaching and staff. Obviously, coaches are, we have 20 coaches for our upcoming event. I'm going to put 20 with an asterisk because you never know who can't make it last minute and this, that, and the third. But as of right now, we have 20 registered coaches. With us, we don't use intermediate coaches to instruct intermediates. We use, again, another vetting process, guys who are expert level or better, been around for a while. That's another thing that we're looking to refine in the future is really kind of keeping our credibility high and keeping our standards the same. So again, when we say event, it's a full-blown, full-scale event. We've been working on this, last year we had August 25th. We've been working on it since August 27th. I took a day off.
Wow. Man, this is pretty cool.
Yeah. So what do you do? Like at your event last year, I know you had some things that are definitely different than your typical track day. Like you had a lot more vendors out, and they weren't just vendors that were selling you tires or doing suspension. Like you had a lot of value adds. Let's put it that way. What are you doing as far as that part of it? Because this is one of the things that we see at a lot of track days is, I don't want to disparage anybody, but, some track days feel like a meat grinder. You pay this much, you show up, here's the day, here's the flags, you do this, you do that, you go with your day, but there's nothing else that's going to captivate you. There's nothing else there that's going to really, there's no value adds. We just had an event this past weekend that we're going to speak about on another show, but, people were paying $600 for a garage on top of the $800 that they were paying just to get into the event. And it seems like a lot of money, other than the track time. Where's my value add? Like, what else are you doing to try to bring value to what people are investing in coming to your days?
Yeah. So it's funny you mentioned that because it kind of piggybacks on what we were talking about before, like why we even came about, right? So me and the guys are a bunch of dads. We're a bunch of business professionals. We all have work the next day. You know how much time it takes to prep for a track day? You know how much time you spend loading the trailer, making sure you got your gear, making sure your bike's got tires, your oil's fresh, and your safety wired. Then you get down to the track. You got to set it all up again. It adds up, right? The cost of track days has gone up. The cost of rentals has gone up. So what we do is we make it as simple as possible. We pretty much tack on everything and anything that NJMP will offer us. We use all their corner workers. We use their tow services and everything. Like, listen, any organization can bring their own and set it up that way. We use the track. They know it. They know it best. We're not going to intervene. We're going to keep it as efficient as possible. But we always pay for the garages, the camping, and the electric, and that's included with everybody's purchase of the day. With those, garages, we do a first come, first serve basis. We have an online forum, our Facebook forum, where people can see what's readily available. And again, including the camping from the night before, so you don't have to rush down, drive through that morning, right? Being able to set up, no additional fees. All the electric we pay for, all the camping, and we take both the VIP and the event garages. It doesn't matter. We pay for the whole thing. Small additives, right? We pay for the coffee. We have this company called Nice Day Moto. Super big fan of him. He's a great guy, huge motorsports enthusiast. He comes down in a sidecar and he provides coffee the entire morning, the entire day. He will be there all day serving coffee, and it's paid for by us on our dime. We include all the photos, all the media. We have 3 different media guys coming this year. We have 3 different photographers. Again, asterisk on everything because last minute things can change. But leading up into the event, it's pretty much nothing we don't add in terms of what you get for your dollar. And we keep the pricing very, very competitive for what we offer, because we're not here to do anything. We want to keep this sport growing, and we can't outprice ourselves. We don't outprice the market, but we want to keep good people involved in this community. And sometimes it gets really expensive. So we try to keep it, we try to keep it relatively affordable for everybody as well.
Gotcha. Now, this is something that you stumbled on by accident, or you just, I know you said you talked to the guys and decided to do it, but like, did you see that there was something missing in the space before you guys had this?
When you're in the industry for a long time as a rider, you have good and bad days, right? That's kind of the best I can say. I've had good days. I've had bad days. I've had customer service issues. I've had, it's been everywhere. It's been around. And one thing that we always vouched, we always promised to do was always to do good business with good people. So we don't take anybody's money and not return it, or we don't take anybody's money and, if they can't make the event for whatever reason, we push it to the next year's event. We're not here to, we're not here for a money grab. We're actually here for more of a culture thing. We're trying to bring back some of the feelings that we all had when we were younger, when we got into it. And not that things have become lackluster, but over the years, maybe it's us. Maybe as we got older, we started seeing things differently. Mm-hmm. Maybe we expected more for the money. So what we did was we sat down and said, what would we want? What does a real good day look like? What did we like from every vendor we've been with? And what did we not like? And we ultimately just take the best of all the worlds and combine them and add our style to it.
Right. And what do you think and that's happened to me. I've signed up for some track days. Once, but I won't even mention the company, but one place I signed up for the wrong date because, I'm in IT and the website was very convoluted and I just happened to pick the wrong day out of 3 days. And I didn't ride the day because I didn't show up that day because I missed it. And they would not credit me for another day. And I was like, yep, never using them again. Never going to this place again. Just because of that, because it was just kind of like, bro, you just honest mistake. It's not like I rode half a day and try to get another half a day the next day. Mm-hmm. It's literally like, bro, I just showed up. I signed up today. I thought it was for today and it was the day before. So like, I assume that's happened to you guys in the past and stuff like that. Because it like that's a big benefit to know that, like, if you make an honest mistake on your end as a rider, you're not penalized by cost because of it versus somebody who's trying to take advantage of the system.
Exactly. So with us, again, I don't mention names because you never know. In business, you realize, or what I've realized over the past 2 years doing this, is that with the bigger the business, you never know if you get the same answer twice, right? So what had happened to me the one time specifically, and I'm somebody who, if you tell me no, or if you if you tell me it can't be done, we're probably going to change that. We're probably going to fix it, because if I needed it, or if you needed it, right, other people needed it also, right? So I was signed up for an event. My wife was my wife was pregnant. I got my 2 kids. So my wife was pregnant at the time, and I was still trying to get a couple days in before the big dates. And leading to the event, me and all the guys were signed up, we're registered, and we had to take on either a doctor's appointment or for whatever work issue or home life issue came up. The weather was supposed to be perfect. I obviously had to let go of a day that I really didn't want to let go of, but obligations came up. Mm-hmm. And I emailed the track. I had actually the guy I started the company with. We talked, and he said he would take my spot. Similar pace riders, Louis can vouch it. All of our videos we're on the exact same page. So I asked, hey, I got the spot covered. Would you mind just transferring it to him? He also has an account with you guys. And unfortunately, they said, no, you'd have to upgrade your membership. And for me, it just didn't really make sense, because that organization wasn't hosting any days near us, and their schedule just didn't line up with anything that the rest of us had. So to get the higher end membership just didn't make sense. They didn't do enough days for us to cover the cost or to do anything like this. And rather than just saying, yeah, I understand there's policies, procedures in place for a reason, and I'm sure they've been gotten over before, but I was literally just trying to give my spot to my friend, no money back, don't refund me, no credits, just transfer from this guy to this guy.
Right.
And they were steadfast on, no, you need to spend more money to save that money. I won't tell you what happened, but we vouched to not ride with that organization again, just because of, it was just bad business. And when I say bad business, maybe it's not the same now. Maybe things have changed. Maybe it was just that one-off time that it wouldn't be done. Maybe other people have different experiences, but it wasn't our first time riding with them either. Like it was a shame that it happened, but it left a sour taste. And that was one of the lessons we learned, that, we don't have a lot of overhead. So we don't need paid memberships right now. We don't need to keep people's money. We're a group of guys trying to do the right thing for the culture, for the industry, sponsoring a whole bunch of East Coast kids. So
when you say you're sponsoring a bunch of East Coast kids, like, who are you sponsoring, and what kind of sponsorship are you doing?
Are you trying to press me? You think I'm lying?
Yeah, man, that's what we do. We press people.
So good. I like the hard questions better than the easy ones. So
because I'm not getting any sponsorship money. That's what I'm saying. Like,
yeah, no, unfortunately, neither am I. But we Gus Rodeo is one of our biggest sponsors, right? Him and the whole rodeo racing team have been paramount to supporting us, and we support them in whatever capacity we can when they need it, whether it's transportation, monetary value. Just being a part of that whole team has opened our eyes to the inner workings of Moto America. We've gotten to be in the pits and the paddocks. That's who we flew out to Washington State with. And, we got to ride, the Ridge. That, I can't tell you that I never thought I'd do that. I never thought I'd be out there doing what we're doing. And it's all thanks to, the rodeo racing team. And then when you look at what Gus is doing this year, actually, he's been on the podium a lot, and he shouted us out a lot, and it's been paramount to our success. But you'll see a big track social logo right across the belly of his suit, because him and his dad and the whole team kind of just believe in what we're doing. And we look forward to just maintaining that relationship and supporting him. When you talk about some other racers, this week at VIR, actually a couple of minutes ago, my phone popped up. Derek Sanchez is going to have a track social livery on his bike and his helmet and stuff. We've been trying to support him and get him. He's doing a great job this season, trying to get him to as much as we can with as much support as he can. You got Joe Lamandry and the Boss Racing team last year, and I know Joe's on the MP13 team now. Joe's all these guys are going to be at our event in August, and not just because they're coming to ride, but because as an organizer and a motorsports company, we do want to support the people from our area. We want to support the guys that, NJ Mini GP, where most of these guys came from. They all know each other. They train together.
Right.
All these companies are paramount to the future of racing, and especially these young guys. They are the future of these motorsports racing series.
Gotcha. We got a couple more questions, and I'm sure Louis probably have as well. Now, you talk about, you mentioned that, seasoned riders, you're looking for intermediate riders or above, and then there's coaches involved. So is there training involved in that process, or the coaches more involved just to kind of keep the herd in check? What is the process like, as far as if I'm an intermediate guy and I'm trying to get a little bit better, but I don't, and I'm coming to this event, is there opportunities for one-on-one coaching or 1-on-5 or 3 coaching? How does that work?
Yep. So it's great that you asked, because I think back to the old Nesbitt days when they had control riders separate from coaches. Right.
Mm-hmm.
I've talked to plenty of guys about this before in the past. Last year, we had a similar count, and we had a lot of guys come up and ask for a little bit of help. Right. So I don't want to say we put hard times on our groups, but we do try to take intermediate riders in that aren't just at a novice. Right. So we try to keep the groups within a 10-second gap. Because in New Jersey, if you give people a 10-second gap per lap, by the time most riders do 5 to 7 laps, that's 7 laps in a session is kind of a lot.
Right.
They shouldn't. Yeah,
it's a sprint race.
They shouldn't really kind of meet each other if they're at similar paces within that 10-second gap. And this is all, again, this is all us learning as we go. So our coaches this year, we're going to do some coaches who are out there specifically to do line work, right?
Mm-hmm.
They'll have a separate color than the instructors. The instructors are out there if they see somebody riding, maybe their body position's off, maybe their corner entry or exits, they can identify some issues. The instructors will be the ones to tap tails, go talk to the riders, pull them in, give them some constructive criticism. And then the control riders, they're pretty much going to be out there to give line work, show the line, show a pace, nothing that's going to be of the advanced pace to kind of reel people in and make them want to go faster. But just kind of to show what consistent laps are. And my goal, or our goal as a company this year, is to maybe put 3 guys out on track, split the track up into thirds, have them all run a similar pace so that they're never bunching up. And then we're working with a company called FP1 Laps. Not sure if you guys know about them. They're from the West Coast. We met the owner when we were out there. And what we're going to do is every bike is going to have an RFID chip sticker on the bike, and we will have access to live timing at all times. So what we're going to do is we're going to use that live timing as a training tool, not as a race series and not as a who's the best of the group, but more so as the coaches and instructors are sitting back in the background. If we look and we can identify where maybe some of the struggling riders or inconsistent riders are, we can single them out, get them that one-on-one coaching if they need it. Mm-hmm. Or if there's somebody really, really beating feet in that sessions, guys who are really at that, maybe pushing an advanced pace, being able to give them an evaluation without them knowing. Because what's the first thing that happens when a coach says, man, you're doing really good, we're going to evaluate you next time you go out.
Okay, that's what's up. I like that.
Everybody's going to push. They're going to push, and then that's when incidents happen.
Yeah, well, it's just what happens when we get under the track. Some of us like to push. It's the only way to be. Louis, you got anything before I ask my last question?
No, the only other thing, I see what you guys are doing. I see what you're putting together. I know that you're not just a motorcycle company. You're an events company that just happens to specialize in motorcycle events and track events. Do you see this growing? Like right now, obviously, it seems like NJMP is your home track. Do you have any plans on spreading this out? Because one of the things that I've always said is, it's great to have a good community at one track, but if you can get that community to travel with you to experiment other tracks, it actually is very beneficial to them as a whole, because being great at one track is one track. Do you think you can build a group that if you said, hey, I just rented Road Atlanta, how many of you are willing to drive down from New York and New Jersey to Road Atlanta? I think that would be a litmus test to see exactly how dedicated they are to the product that you're providing. Do you think you're getting to that point? When do you think you can get to that point? So
just like we said before, this was never really supposed to be what it has turned into in terms of, we now have a merch store. We have merchandise. We're traveling the country, learning from other organizations and learning from other pro riders. And we have a lot of support from within the paddock and stuff. So we don't want to outrun ourselves, and we don't want to overgrow to the point where the quality is or what's expected of us diminishes for the sake of having quantity in track events or any type of motorsports event. So I think our goal is not to grow too fast so that we become disconnected from the riders and the people that are actually involved with us. But we do, again, asterisks, we do have a team of coaches that wants to run an event in the north of New Jersey, whether that's Palmer, Thompson, Poconos, Loudon, like
whatever.
I like to do anything north of New Jersey. So we do have a pretty good following that's coming down this event, and in terms of, we do have a solid group of coaches that have reached out to us based on what we are doing and how we're doing it. And they seem to think that their market and their friends and their base would really enjoy this platform. And I think our platform would like to travel a little bit north. Conversely, we do have a large amount of racers that, whether it's Azra or, again, the Moto America guys who have good things to say about some tracks down south. NJMP is our home track. That is going to be our flagship event every year. We have some big things coming this year. I don't want to talk too much on it just yet because we're still finalizing some of the last minute agenda and sponsors and stuff. But you guys know when Moto America is in New Jersey?
It's the end of September.
Yeah, I think the last weekend in September.
Yep.
So that last weekend of September, there may or may not be a day that my company has directly after that event that we're pushing to open up relatively soon. Again, I'm not gonna put the date or the time or anything out there just yet, but that would add. Our goal was to grow one day or one event per year. This year we added the day, and now we picked up another one in the end of September. So again, we're just trying to not outgrow ourselves, to not be personable, to not have everybody there know who we are, what we're about, what we stand for, and to always do the good business with good people. So yes, we plan on growing. We plan on growing slowly and with the best interest of every rider that comes with us or comes to an event of ours, with their best interest in mind.
I like that. Let me ask this. You talked about doing events like, going to MotoGP and stuff like that. And maybe it's too soon to think about this, but are you guys also thinking about doing track days outside of the country and stuff like that? Or is it just more MotoGP event? And I guess I should ask, are you thinking about MotoGP events outside of the country or in the US? So
again, the beautiful part about why we designed this as an actual motorsports event planning company is because now we can do stuff like that. I actually just had a member or follower of ours reach out to me and talk about a cannonball run that's happening overseas. It's a week-long ride. I can't remember where it starts, but they end up in Madrid, Spain. It's the same weekend that F1 arrives there. I have the pricing, I have the breakdown, I have the necessities. We have this entire breakdown of how it would work. And that's the type of event that I want our people to have access to. Things that I never thought that I'd be able to do. We want people to have access to the bucket list items, the bucket list events, like how I just went to the Ridge. That was never a track I thought I'd be on. I will be going to that track every year that I can because it was a lot of fun.
All right, let me know what you port I got to bring my Panigale to get it overseas, man. I'm ready.
Listen, so again, we're working with a lot of transport companies. Obviously, up here in the Northeast Coast, New York, New Jersey, Connecticut, all these tri-state areas, we have a lot of business owners that are involved with us right now. And a lot of people, if you support their business and they own a transport company and they can ride at the track, they're going to find a way to make it happen. They're going to make it work. So obviously, with the restrictions on COTA would have been a dream this year. But we'll see what happens in the future. You never know, how that happens. But we do want to branch off. We do want to give our people access to tracks around the country, but we also do want to meet other people and other riders from across the country. So you never know if it branches off into different segments, or we have different track social teams across the country that can host their own events. Our goal is, again, let's bring back some of the things that should be expected at events, and less of what may have happened this past weekend.
Yeah. I hear
we
that.
did talk about that.
Man, well, I want to thank you for coming on. My name is Rexy. It's the B4evaKool podcast. I want to thank Louis Ortega as well. Mike from Track Social. Peace.
Guys, thank you.
Thanks for coming on.